So in this video, we are going to take what the third problem of Dijkstra's algorithm to find the shortest path. This comes under the concept of our graph theory. This is the third problem. Okay, this is again undirected graph we are going to consider. So how many vertices are there? 1, 2, A, B, C, D, E, F, Z. The previous also a problem also same thing. So first step, what you have to do, write the in alphabetical order. So here A, B, C, D, E, F, Z. It's not necessary, but still it is better to write in this alphabetical order. Next, they have asked us to find out the shortest path between A to Z in this question. Okay, they have asked us A to Z, what is the shortest path? I'll start with A because they have said to go from A to B. So I'll start with A. So here you have to assume the A value because you are starting from A. You have to assume the A permanent label. These are two things. One is permanent label and temporary label. So each vertex will be getting permanent label as well as temporary. But for A, since you are starting from A, you have to assume one permanent label. That I am going to assume it as what? 0. I am putting it in a box to identify it is a permanent label. Okay, so I am going to put it as what? 0. Why I am taking A? Because they have said us to go from A to Z. Okay, that's why I am going to assume that 0 is the permanent label for A. So put it here 0 for A. Rest all values we have to assume it as what? Infinite. So if it is not inside the box, that means you have to assume and understand that it is temporary variables, temporary labels. Okay, so this all values are nothing but temporary labels. This is the first step you have to do in all the problems. Okay, based on what they have asked, A to Z, A to B, whatever. Now next thing, beside this you write A because A has got the permanent label. Whatever you are getting the permanent label, that comes beside, left side. Okay, left side that column. Now the first step is done, just assumption part. So this part we are not bothered about. Next we'll go for second step. That is a quite important step because their calculation comes. You have to understand calculation. Now whatever the permanent label A I am assumed, from that perspective we have to calculate the other values. Okay, so A I am sitting over here. A is connected to B also, C also, D also. There are three connections. Since this is a undirected graph, no need to bother about the direction. Just see where it is connected. So D, C, B. So I have to do the calculation for B, C, D. That means B is sitting here, D is sitting here, as well as C is sitting here. These three values, which is infinite temporary variables, these values will be changed. Okay, these values we have to change. That's it. So we'll focus on that. So what is the formula for doing this calculation? Minimum value of temporary variable comma permanent variable plus the weight Okay, what weight? Weight is nothing but edge. You can see the values are there. This is nothing but weight of the edge, W. Okay, so temporary variables. So let us do the first calculation. You will understand. So here I am going to do the first one. So first row is complete. Second row we are going to do the calculation with respect to A, which is a permanent label. So it is connected to B, C, D. So I am going with B first. The minimum value of temporary variable of B. So B, see here, what is the temporary value? Infinite. Permanent value. See, B doesn't have any permanent value. What you have to understand by permanent label, whatever is there with respect to A variable, the previous, whatever you have got the new permanent label. How many permanent labels you have? You have only one permanent label we have got. That is nothing but 0. So with respect to A only we are calculating, right? So A is having permanent label as 0. So for this calculation, A will be fixed. That means 0, you have to take it as permanent label. It is not dependent on the variable which you have calculated. Okay. Next, weight. Weight between A and B we are calculating. Weight 22. So 22. So infinite and 0 plus 2 is what? 22. So minimum value between infinite and 22 is 22 itself. So the new value becomes for B is 22. Next, We'll go for the next calculation also. Now we have to calculate for C. C is equal to minimum value, temporary variable, temporary label. Okay. C, what is the temporary label? It is infinite. Permanent label, as I said, with respect to A only we are calculating. It is fixed 0. And weight between A and A and C, right? A and C. 16. 0 plus 16 is how much? 16 itself. So infinite and 16, which is the minimum value? 16. So new value of C becomes 16. Now we have to calculate for C is done. D again same thing, minimum value, temporary variable of C. D. So D again infinite. Permanent label, as I said, A, with respect to A we are calculating, so 0. The weight we can see it is 2. So 0 plus 2 is how much? 2 itself. The minimum value between infinite and 2 is 2. So we have got the new value for D also, which is 2. Rest all values, what you are going to do? Just copy it down. Same values. This also same. A is not going to change. Okay. Now the next step is that in this particular row you have to find out the minimum value. Here also minimum value. That particular value becomes the new permanent label. Okay. So how to find the minimum value? By excluding the permanent label. The whatever the previous permanent label is there, that you have to exclude. Don't see this value. Other values, from other values you have to take the minimum value. What is the minimum value here? 2 only. So that becomes the new permanent label. 2 becomes the new permanent label, which belongs to D. So D in the graph you note it down, 2 permanent label. So this we have got. Now beside this, what you are going to write? Whatever the new permanent label has we have got, that you are going to write it here. That means what D variable we have got. That means after all the calculation of this, we are going to write beside this. Okay. Next step, we have to now focus on what? New permanent label, which variable has got? D. So we have to focus on D. D is connected to F, C, A. Now you have to be careful. A anyways we have got the permanent label. No need to bother about that. So which variable? This variable A has already we have permanent label. Why we have to do the calculation? Not required. So eliminate this part. So we have to calculate for C and F because it doesn't have any permanent label. Okay. So C and F calculation begins with respect to D. D is the new permanent label, remember. So C I'll start. What is the minimum value? Same formula. Temporary label of C. C temporary label you can see. It is 16. Okay. Permanent label. Now don't write 0 and come. 0 is done because A part is done, right? New, what is the new permanent label? With respect to D we are calculating. It is 2. What is the weight between D and C? D and C. D and C we are calculating, right? What is the weight? 10. It is given. So 10. So 16 comma 2 plus 10, which is 12. 16 and 12, which is a least value, which is the minimum value, it is 12. So we have got C 12 new value. Now we have to do the calculation for F also. So F is equal to minimum value of temporary variable. Now which is the temporary variable of F? F temporary variable is nothing but infinite. Okay. Done. Permanent, as I said, with respect to D we are calculating, it is 2 plus weight between D and F, it is 6. So 6 plus 2 is what? 8. So minimum value becomes infinite and it is 8. So new value for F is 8. Rest all values, just copy paste. Okay. Now in this particular row, we have to see the minimum value excluding, remove this permanent labels. Okay. By not seeing the permanent labels, you have to find the minimum value. Which is the minimum value? 22, 12, each, infinite. 8 is the minimum value. So this becomes the new permanent label. Now since this is a new permanent label, we have to write it in the graph also 8. So beside this also F comes. This belongs to F. Okay. F. For the next calculation, remember 8 you have to take in place of permanent label. Now with respect to f, we have to calculate now. F is connected to what all variables, what all vertices. Z, it is connected C, B. Remember one more thing, that here there is no node or the vertex. Remember that. See, whatever the green color is there, that is a vertex. If two lines are intersecting, two edges are intersecting, that doesn't mean it forms a vertex. No, if they have not mentioned any vertex, there is no vertex there. So F is connected to Z, B, C, D also. Now since D is already having the permanent label, no need to bother about this path. So what is the path left out? C is there, B is there, Z is there. So for three variables in this step we have to calculate, that is Z, B, C with respect to F. We'll start with C. Okay. Minimum value. What is the temporary variable of C? C temporary variable is 12. Okay. Permanent variable, as I said, with respect to F we are calculating. What is the value? 8. As I said, it is 8 plus the width, the weight between C and F. C and F, if you see C and F, what is the width? Weight, it is 3. So 12 comma 8 plus 3. What is 8 plus 3? 11. So what is the minimum value? 11. Next we have to calculate for, so C is done. Now Z is left out, then D also, right? So Z will calculate minimum value of, what is the temporary variable value of Z? That is infinite. Permanent, as I said, it's fixed, it is 8 for F plus. The width you can see, the weight, it is 9. So what is 8 plus 9? It becomes 17. The minimum value is 17. Next, one more variable is there, one more vertex, it is B vertex. What is the temporary variable? Here you can observe it is 22. Permanent value 8. Weight between F and B, it is 7. What is 8 plus 7? It is 15. So the minimum value between 22 and 15 becomes 15. So the new value we have got, just write it down. C value is 11. So C value is 11. Okay. Then Z we have got 17. B is 15. Rest all values just copy paste. Now in this particular row we have to see the minimum value. So what is the minimum value here by excluding the permanent label? What is the minimum value between 15, 11 and 17? 11 is the infinite also is there. Okay, anyways, 11 is the new permanent label. It belongs to C variable. So write here C. In graph also you note it down. For C has got the new permanent label which is 11. So this step is finished. For the next step we'll be focusing on what? C. Now C is connected to A, D, B, E, F. So 5 vertices we have got. In this 5, for how many things we are going to calculate? See, C to A, there is no calculation because A has already got the permanent label. C to D, no calculation required. But C to F, there is no calculation required. What is left out there? B and E. Okay, so B and E we are going to calculate in this step with respect to C. So temporary permanent label will be what? 11. So we are calculating for B and E. So I'll start with B. B, what is the minimum temporary variable, temporary label? What is the value we have got for B? Okay, so B is sitting over here 15. Now permanent label, as I said, with respect to C we are doing, that means C permanent label is 11, as I said, plus weight between C and B. What is the weight? 20. So what is 11 plus 20? It is 31. So the least value will be 15. So same thing. So the B value becomes 15 again. Now one more variable we have to calculate. What is that variable? It is E. Minimum value. What is the temporary variable here? infinite for E, and permanent, as I said, it is fixed with respect to C. So it is 11 plus the weight between E and C, it is 10. So what is 11 plus 10? So I'm going to write directly 21. The least value becomes 20. So we have got the new value here. It is 21 for E. 21. Rest all values just copy paste. Which is the least value we have got, right? Which is the least value? Excluding the permanent label. So excluding permanent label, which is the least value, 15 is there, 21 is there, 17 is there. For 15. So 15 will be having the permanent label. 15 belongs to which variable? It is B. So right beside here B also. In graph also B has got 15 as the permanent label. We have to focus on what? Which is the new permanent label? B. So we have to focus on B now. Where is B sitting? Okay, here it is B. So B is connected to which all? What all things? B is connected to Z. This is the path over here. It is connected to Z. E also connected. F also connected. C also connected. A also connected. But we are going to eliminate which path? F not required, C not required, A not required, because it is already having that permanent label. So B is connected to Z and E. So Z and E I have to calculate. Okay. Z and E. So I'll start with Z. What is the temporary variable of Z? So Z, you can observe, temporary variable we have got is 17. Okay, now permanent, as I said, permanent, what we are going to take? The B is a new permanent thing, which is 50 plus. Now what is the weight between B and what we are calculating? Z. B and Z, 2 is the weight. So 17 plus 2, oh sorry, 15 plus 2 is what? 17. So both are 17 70. What is the minimum value between 17 and 70? It is 17 only. There is no other thing. Now one more variable we have to calculate, which is Z is done. E also we have to calculate. Minimum value, what is the temporary value of E? 21. Permanent value with respect to B, it is 15 plus weight of between B and E, it is 2. So 15 plus 2 is 17. So the minimum value between 21 and 17 is how much? It is 17 only. So Z and E, Z value is 17 and E value is 17. Rest all terms, same copy paste. This row we have to see which is having the minimum value excluding the permanent label. So only remaining thing is that 1770. So both are having 1770. So any one you can take. So I'm going to take E as the permanent label. Any one you have to take. Both we cannot take. Okay. So E as the permanent label. You can take Z also. Anyways, it is fine. It's up to you. E I'm going to take. So put it over here. E. E has got the new permanent label, which is over here. How much we have got? 70. So E has got. Even you can take for Z also. Anyways, it is fine. Now with respect to E, we have to calculate. So E is connected to where? E is connected to B also, Z also, C also. But C anyway is not required. B also not required since it is having permanent label. Only Z is remaining. So Z we have to calculate in this step. Okay. First we'll put a stop here. Temporary label of Z 17. Permanent E with respect to E, it is also 17 plus weight between E and Z, it is 1. So 17 and 1 we have got here 17 and 18, which is minimum value 70. So the new value of Z becomes 17 itself. Rest all copy paste. Now what is the left out thing? If you want to calculate the minimum in this row, only one value is left out, so that also you mark it as the permanent value, which is represents for Z. So in the graph also you mark it 17 is the permanent label for Z. Done. All the things done. Now, as I said in the question, they have asked us to find the shortest path between A to Z. From where to where we went? From A we started. Okay, we have reached here to Z. Okay, so A to Z we have to calculate. It is not necessary. You can calculate for A to E also. But in the question they have asked A to Z. It is not necessary. Z will be always last. No, no, no. If they ask you for A to E, you have to calculate for that. A to Z, how to calculate? Z particular row, if you see, what is the permanent label we are getting? 17. 17 is the value. That means the shortest distance between A to Z will be having 17 as the value. So that particular thing first you write 17. Now, what is the path you are going to follow? Because there are a lot of paths through which you can follow to reach from where to where? From A is sitting over here. Where is Z? Z is sitting over here. A to Z, there are a lot of paths. But the sum of all the things will be 17. If you see through this way, it is also fine. From graph also you can find out. But using the algorithm, how to find, I'll tell you. Okay. Be careful with this one. Understand carefully. It's little bit complicated, but still start with Z. Reverse we are going. A till A will go. Okay, we are going to take the path. So Z. Z is the value here. Okay. Jump to the previous value. If the previous value is same, then don't consider that variable. Okay. In the path. That means 70 is there. Again, if I jump to the previous thing, it is same column you have to jump. Okay, it is 70. So I cannot go from Z to E. So E is not there. This variable you cannot go. E is not there. Now in this column, in this row, what is the E variable value? E variable is this. I will make it short. It will be better. Okay, E variable is 70. Now we have to pass on to this value. Okay, shift to this row. From this room, you have to jump to the previous value. Always column wise you are going to jump. But you have to shift to the that particular variable row. Okay. So I'm jumping to this the previous thing which is having the B row. So 21. Now this value is different from this value. That means B I have to consider. B I have to consider. Okay. Because it is different. Now in this particular row, go for B value. What is B value here? B value is associated with this one. 15. Right. So now I have shifted to B room. From this room again jump to the previous room, column wise only jumping. Here again the same value I have got 15 15. So I cannot jump to C. C also done. But again don't jump directly. I have to go to the shift to the C room. Where is the C room? Here. C room is over here. So I will go to C room, which is the, I will use some other pen. Jump to the previous thing. Okay. Previous value you can observe it is 12. It is different. That means I have to consider F. Now go to F room. Where is F room? F room is situated over here, right? So this is the F room. That is 8. From 8 you have to jump to previous value, which is infinite. That is also different. So I have to consider D also. Now go to D room. Where is D room? In this, this is D. So here it will be D. 2. From 2 to the previous jump, again it is different, infinite, right? So again I have to go to E. Anyways you have to reach it. Okay. So this is the path. So in the simple way you can write A to D, D to F, F to B, B to Z. This will be the shortest path. This will give you the value as 70. Well, let us check now. A, D, F, B, Z. Okay. So from A to what we are taking the path? A, A, D, F, B, Z. This path. Okay, we are starting with A. We are going to, sorry, starting with A, going to D. D is over here. Okay. Next D to F. Okay, this path. F to B. Where is B? Okay, this path we are taking. Okay, fine. Then B to Z. Okay, this particular path here. So what is the, add the edges weight? What is the weight over here? 2, 6, then 7, then 2. 2 plus 6 is 8, 8 plus 7 is what, 15, 15 plus 2 is 17. So that is done. So 17, which we have got over here, 17 as the answer, right? So A to Z, what is the shortest path? From the graph also, if you want, you can try and get the value 17. If you are not understanding how I jumped from here to here, that also you can do. Because 17 already you understood that 17 is the answer, because from A to Z you went. Okay.